Hello and welcome to the fourth and final video in our Using the Scale Tool series. Hello, my name is Dr. Jeremy, and today I'll be walking us through how to do step 4, historical understanding. The content that we'll be using will be grade 10, unit 3, with a focus on World War I. Our video objectives: we want to check for understanding, make sure that we understand everything that we've been doing, and we're going to do this by synthesizing all the evidence that we have looked at. We've looked at multiple sources, from secondary sources to primary, to images, to statistics. Now we're going to put everything we've done together and try to figure out, well, what was World War I and what were the consequences? This is the fourth step. And when we think of historical understanding, it's not only knowing what was happening, we're also looking for the so what. Why are we using scale to understand this historical moment? Why are we not using any other tool? And this is where it's going to be important. Why is scale changing how we view World War I? And to do this, let's actually look at our previous steps. In our first step, we looked at the context. We wanted to really know our historical background to help ground us in this historical moment. So we know the name, the geographic locations, the key players, and the historical circumstances that led to this event. In step 2, we looked at the spatial scale. And when we talk about spatial scale, it's not only geographical, we're also looking at individuals or local communities. We're looking at a wide range. And we zoomed in by looking at individuals, and then we started to zoom out until we looked at how the world was affected by this war. Step 3, we looked at temporal scale, and this one is looking at time, but we're really looking at, once again, the zooming in with the immediately right after the war, what happened consequences. And then we slowly made our way further out and into the bigger picture. We looked at things that happened shortly after the war. And then we looked at things that happened long term, potentially not even resolved because of the things that were happening. And now we're going to put all this together. For each one, you may have noticed in the chart that we have our responses from the other sections. You should definitely take a look, go back to the other videos, or just go back a couple of seconds to see what our end results were. Now we're going to put them all together. Why did we use scale? Here is my sample response. We use scale because we want to show that there are multiple perspectives and basically multiple stories that we could tell about World War I. Using all of our other steps, this could be a sample answer. This is one of many different answers that we could have, but me putting everything together, my response: while there were many circumstances that led to World War I, thinking about scale helps to better understand the truly global and far-reaching impact of the war. So this is why scale. And then I explain why. Spatially, and this goes back to our chart, not only were soldiers impacted, but also civilians and local communities were casualties to the war in large numbers, referring to our sources and our statistics and our documents. Temporally, there was massive debt and destroyed empires right after the war. However, there were short-term and long-term consequences as well when considering the loss of land and major fines that the Treaty of Versailles placed on Germany. And this refers to what we talked about when we were talking about temporal scale. And then I wrap it all up together again. Examining the war through scale demonstrates that there are multiple perspectives on World War I. This is one of many versions of this answer, but I hope that this will help you really bring everything together. And I hope the whole series helped you understand how to use the scale tool. Have a great one.